But first, we are tracking the heat building between the U.S. and Russia. President Trump ordering 2 nuclear submarines to be positioned closer to the nation after what he called highly provocative statements by Russia's former president.
We was talking about nuclear. When you talk about nuclear, we have to be prepared, and we're totally prepared.
News Nation's Libby Dean live at the White House for us tonight. And Libby, tense words ratcheting up quickly between the White House and the Kremlin tonight.
That's right, Natasha. And President Trump isn't brushing off that new wave of fiery rhetoric from Russia, calling those comments from the former Russian president foolish and inflammatory. And he's responding in force, giving new orders for 2 nuclear submarines.
We was talking about nuclear. When you talk about nuclear, we have to be prepared.
In a decisive move, President Trump Friday ordering the repositioning of 2 U.S. nuclear submarines to, quote, appropriate regions as tensions escalate with Moscow. The U.S. Navy currently has 71 submarines with nuclear capabilities, carrying more than 50% of our nuclear defense weapons. Some of those subs are stationed off the U.S. coast and would take less than a week to get to Russia if they were traveling at 35 miles per hour.
We just have to be careful. And a threat was made, and we didn't think it was appropriate, so I have to be very careful. So I do that on the basis of safety for our people. A threat was made by a former president of Russia, and we're going to protect our people.
That threat made by former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev, saying Trump is playing the ultimatum game with Russia, and each new ultimatum is a threat and a step towards war between the U.S. and Russia. Medvedev currently sits on Russia's National Security Council, which is chaired by Vladimir Putin, who's also been on the receiving end of warnings from President Trump as of late. Trump growing increasingly frustrated with President Putin, who Trump says is stringing him along when it comes to getting a ceasefire deal complete with Ukraine. President Trump's new deadline for Russia to move towards a peace deal, that's set for next Friday. But with these submarines being moved and then also this diplomatic tension that we're seeing continue to rise, that deadline may be more aspirational than realistic, Natasha.
Okay, Libby Dean live at the White House with that. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our News Nation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.